Welcome to Gay Like Me Conversations, where we discuss all things central to the Black LGBTQ community. Although some conversations intersect with the Black community as a whole. But either way, you're going to laugh, maybe even cry a bit, and you'll definitely learn and grow. It's time to start the show. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and I'm inviting you to join my Patreon. Don't know what a Patreon is? It's my official video diary with only exclusive content that you won't see anyplace else. It's easy to join. Just visit patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. Here's what you'll find on my Patreon. A day in my life, whether that's dinner with friends or a typical workday. Live Q&As with members of my Patreon about each episode of the T.S. Madison Experience and what I was really thinking. I'll even bring you on vacation with me. The video will make you think that you were right there. And last but not least, for all of my aspiring writers, I give you firsthand, one-on-one, personalized attention, answering all of your questions about publishing and self-publishing. So what are you waiting for? Join now. Swipe up or visit www.patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. I'll see you soon.
Our fucking mic is muted.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart.
And I'm Derek J.
We're a little toasted.
No,
we are. You're not going to throw me up under the bus by myself. We had a little something. We had a little dinner before we got here.
So,
anyway.
yes, but we're here.
We're here.
And on time.
Listen, that's one thing about us. We are
on time. That's what we will do.
Yeah, we're always on time. But this is our second conversation for this particular season.
Yes.
And it is the double standard of bisexuality.
Yeah, yes. Now, me personally, and I'm going to get flack about this, but I don't believe in bisexuality. That's not a thing that I really subscribe to. Only because I feel like, it's just another thing to give a title to. My thing is, okay, like I know I'm a gay man that likes men. But if I have sex with a woman, that doesn't make me bisexual.
It does not. It makes you a gay man who has sex with a woman.
Right, yeah. So, and I think it works both ways. I mean, if you are a straight man and that you may have sex with a man,
if you
but that's the double standard.
But finish your thought, though.
But I'm saying, but
if you're a straight man
that has sex with a man, does that? Are you saying that you're bisexual, or did you just have sex with a straight man that had sex with a man?
Right.
But
if you ask Black women, they're like, no, he gay.
Right. But my thing is this, because what I really don't believe in, y'all, is a bisexual bottom, honey. If you are a bisexual bottom. What we're not gonna do? Well, that's what we're not about to happen.
Wait,
man.
What's
a bisexual bottom?
What's a bisexual bottom? So he enjoys the company of a man and a woman, but he enjoys to be fucked by a man.
Yes, you're gay.
Period. no. Period.
Yeah, right. So that's so that's why I just feel like it just gets real. And I think it's about just throwing names on things that doesn't have to have
a bisexual bottom.
Yeah, there are bisexual bottoms.
Now listen, I'm not laughing at that, so don't be
No, we're not laughing at that. But I do know bisexual bottoms. Just like that, sweetie, there's no way that you could be sitting around there sticking your penis in a woman and then turn around and let a man get on top of you. Like, come on now. Like, that's just a bit much. You're just gay. You get it like a little vagina from time to time.
Well, I will say this. To your point, I used to be like you. I didn't think that bisexuality existed. But I now do believe that sexuality is instinctive. Whether you're straight, gay, bi, trans, I believe it's how we're wired, right?
Yes.
But what I will say is, and I have some notes here, so if you see me looking at my phone, I'm looking at my notes. I'm not texting. But what I think happens oftentimes in the gay community, gay men will disguise themselves as bisexual.
Right.
Because on their trajectory to being gay, they dated women.
Right.
So my thing is, just because you dated a woman in the past, you may have had some experiences in the past, doesn't mean you're bisexual. Bisexual means that you are currently engaged in sexual activities and you're dating men and women concurrently right now.
But so my thing about the word bisexual, if we break it down to this, I guess, to a rudimentary level.
Come on, rudimentary. Come on, rudimentary.
I know words too big. But if you bring it to a rudimentary level, see, the thing is, what I guess what bothers me about the bisexual part about this is that we talk about heterosexual and we talk about feelings, emotions, and things.
Right.
We talk about homosexual.
Yeah.
We talk about feelings, emotions, and things. When we talk about bisexual, we just talk about sex.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I think what happens to, and I'm guilty of this, not now, but once upon a time, like I said, when I used to think that, it didn't exist, I do think it exists now. But I think for us, and even now, I still kind of struggle with this part of it. When you talk about a bisexual man, I think I and most people get caught up in, well, what you doing when you with a man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think we kind of get lost in, are you getting fucked? You sucking dick? You just getting your dick sucked? Or you just doing the fucking? And really, that shouldn't matter. But I think, especially for black, he's blinking his eyes at me.
No, I'm listening.
But when it comes to black women who may or may not be open to dating a bisexual man, that's what she's thinking. She's wondering, okay, are you getting fucked? Like, you know what I'm saying? But when we think about bisexual women, we don't get into all of that.
Well, because with bisexual women, to me, I mean, it's not a lot they can really do. Like, why would
Listen, when y'all email him. Don't email me. What was it?
I mean, what are y'all really doing?
Right.
I mean, like, a lot of tapping and scissoring and stuff.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't do all that stuff.
Don't email
That's
me.
crazy. But I just do a little tap, a little figure play.
But the thing is, scissoring.
What women?
I
mean, I know we're not talking about this right now, but please explain to me the joy of scissoring. Like, what is
scissoring? I don't know. I mean, I know you're the virgin here, but what is?
I mean, I don't know about you. Know, like two girls looking like this with each other, kind of rub.
They wrap their legs like that?
And they kind of scissor. I mean, I don't kind of like.
So they bump cats.
They bump.
I'm not laughing at that.
It would be the equivalent of bumping two bottoms. Yeah. Just bumping together.
Because communication is our partner. Clarity is our friend. But I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things that I think back to is Insecure.
Right.
Do you watch Insecure?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember the season where Molly was dating the guy?
He said
he had gotten head in college.
Uh-huh.
He said, but it didn't really work for me. That was the one
but
time.
But see, that's not bisexual.
I don't think that's bisexual either.
But when you talk to bisexual people, now I really because the thing to me, and maybe I might be too just maybe I might be too hard on this, but when you talk to bisexual people and you say, "Hey, Craig, that we did get an email that said you bring the comments down so fast."
Oh, they did.
It was like,
"Oh, you guys read? You guys read slowly?"
No, girl, that's how you be Craig. You like this. That's how, you just let them give them a second to read the comment.
Okay, I'll give you guys.
Yeah, Jesus. I just saw you doing it now. I was like, well, damn, girl, you just put it up there.
Well, shit, I just need you to read the comment. You ain't got to study it.
I mean, but you got to give them a second, though.
Okay.
What was I saying? When you talk about bisexual people, right?
Uh-huh.
So the bisexual to me, I mean, when you talk to a bisexual person and you say, hey, when it's time to get married and be settled down, they normally would choose one.
Right.
They would say, I'll be with a woman.
Right.
So, like, really, are you bisexual? You just like having sex with another man? Like, is that's so that's where, because I think that for me, I look at bisexuality in a true term of bisexuality. If we hold to the same standards as heterosexual and homosexual, is that I can love a man, I can love a woman. I could be with a man, I could be with a woman. I really can't choose between the two. It's whoever at the moment is giving me and fulfilling me in the moment. But normally, they could be like, "Oh no, honey, I wouldn't." Like you talk to a bisexual man, like, "Oh, I won't never marry no man or be with a man."
They're just really engaged in sex.
Yeah, you're just engaged in sex. So are we? So yes, if we talking to if we break that term all the way down, then yes, that is bisexual. But if we want to hold it to the same standard, or do we hold bisexual to the same standard as heterosexual, homosexual?
Well, that's the question we're going to ask tonight.
Yes.
And here's the thing.
Yes.
One of the things that I learned a few years ago, too, from someone who claimed to be bisexual, and I want to kind of touch on... claim to be.
Right.
But I want to touch on some of you gay men who claim to be bisexual just because, as I said a moment ago, because you've had experiences with women. Like my last girlfriend was in college, but I don't claim to be bisexual. Like that was just...
we're not. I
don't claim to be bisexual.
You shouldn't.
That was just a part of my journey.
Right. Okay.
But what I learned from someone years ago was that I think the reason that a lot of us have issues with bisexuality is because what we hear is the inability to commit. And just because you're bisexual doesn't mean that you're non-committal. Right? So being bisexual means I'm attracted to men and I'm attracted to women. But when I'm with a woman, I can commit to her. I can be faithful to her. If I'm with a man, I can be faithful to him. I can commit to him. But I think for us, and at least for me, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but for me, I used to think like, well, that means you just kind of all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But no, it doesn't necessarily mean that.
I wish we could have a tally that on this stage, but we can't. But I want to ask you guys in that's in our chat and our feed that's watching. Can we or should we hold bisexuality to the same standards as we hold homosexuality and heterosexuality?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why that's a yes or no, you guys. So should we hold bisexuality to the same standards as we hold homosexuality and heterosexuality?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, talk to me. You. So I wanted to hold this as an open forum because I feel like we put it out there. We didn't really get a lot of bites to it, but I feel like we would have had more people just in the conversation. I want to be part of the conversation. So I'm going to hold an open forum. But Craig was able to round up some panelists. So I'm gonna let you start this off because I don't know what's happening.
Okay, and I also just dropped the link. So if you want to join this conversation, the link is in the comments. Okay, so just click on the link.
Oh wait, Jackie, hit on Jackie V Meadows.
Jackie Meadows.
Yeah.
What is the standard?
So the standard to me is this: when we talk about homosexuality, when we talk about heterosexuality. Heterosexuality talks about feelings, love, it's not about it's more than just sex.
About the act.
It's more than the act.
Right.
And then when homosexuality, it's more than the act. But when bisexuality, it's just about the act.
Right. Yeah, and again, I think that's what happens with most of us. We get lost in
the act.
Just it's about sex.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want to be, you just a freak. You just want to be able to have your cake and eat it too.
But but if that's, I would rather you own that. I mean, I know gay men that like to have sex with women, but they don't call themselves bisexual.
What do they call it?
They're a fucking freak.
They
just like to get it. They just like to get it. They just like to get in when they fit in when they know they're gay men. And I know straight men that love their wives, love the.
So are they straight?
I believe.
Well,
so.
finish it though. You saying straight men.
I know straight men that love their wives, that love the family atmosphere, but they might have sex with a man from time to time.
Well, then they're not straight.
But that's not fair. So Craig, with that being said, if I go have sex with a woman, am I a straight man now?
No.
Okay, then. So why can't it work both ways?
Yeah, you're right. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
That was an aha moment.
Yeah, so if I go have sex with a woman, you're not gonna say, "Oh, you straight now."
Oh, well, okay. Well, here's the distinction, beloved. If you go have sex with a woman, you're not going to be aroused.
Well, I will have to be aroused to have sex with a woman.
Yeah, but
use a
well, you could go eat her coochie or something.
Oh my!
But what I'm saying is, well, okay, but for real, if you were to actually
have sex, with
get an erection, have sex with, I don't see that happening.
But what we do know about men get erections off of anything.
I do see your point.
Yeah.
I still think that there's.
Well, no, I know I'm a gay man. I know I'm gay. Women don't turn me on at all. But there are men that just like to have
just needy. She's needy. She's needy.
See, this is
a little puppy down here.
This is a slutty hoe too.
She's crawling all between my legs. She's licking on my crotch. She's licking on my crotch.
But what I'm saying to you, Craig, is that there are some men. There are gay men that don't. They just like to stick their penis into something wet and warm. Yeah. So regardless of what it is at the moment. You know, if I have sex with a woman and I have sex with her in her butt, I mean, does that, and I like her cooch, what does that mean?
You like anal play.
Right, as I'm saying. So, I mean, but that's.
Wait, before we bring them in,
okay,
remember I said at the beginning of this season, I at least wanted to start every conversation with my intention.
Oh, yeah, what's our intention today?
So for me, my intention for this conversation is really to bring clarity and to learn, to grow, and to perhaps enlighten some of you, and that's why we've assembled some people on this conversation who identify as bisexual, and hopefully they can give us some insight.
And Amber, that's why I asked earlier, Amber, if are we holding bisexuality to the same standards as we hold heterosexuality and homosexuality? So that's why I asked that, Amber. So yes, so for you, we are holding to the same standards as that.
Right. So, now do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so.
Yes.
If you want to support the show, it's right here.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Gay Like Me Conversation. That's Cash App.
Right. Bam.
All right. So we want to bring on our first guest, and I want to bring on Ashley. You ready, Ashley?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, let me get closer. Oh, there we go.
Let me fix it.
I'm going to fix it. Okay. Hey, babe, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, wait, that's me. No, hold on.
Oh, hold on one second.
There we go. We back up.
Okay, go ahead. Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, how are you guys? I'm good.
We're good, thank you. So you've heard our intro. You heard our conversation. So weigh in on us for us, please.
Okay, so I was just jotting down some notes while y'all were talking. So first, I want to address this comment that Derek J said that women can't really do much during sex. That's really not true.
All them together, Ashley.
It's been proven that women actually have more orgasms in sex during men. And also, just being, growing up and stuff, I really came to learn that I think that everyone should start learning more about sex outside of penetration. That's not all sex is, it's just penetration. So yeah, and then scissoring is not just bumping coochies. Women have clitorises, and that's what actually rubs together when you're scissoring.
I don't have a clit, so that's why
okay. So it's the friction.
Yeah, it's the friction that causes the orgasm.
Gotcha.
So do you identify as bisexual? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what made you want to participate in this conversation?
Well, I just love all y'all conversations, and I seen this, and I've been wanting to join in, but I get a little nervous. But I seen this bisexuality. I was like, well, I'm bisexual, so I might as well join.
So when did you realize that you were bisexual? How did you know that you were bisexual?
Okay, so I realized I was bisexual in middle school, actually. At first, I was like, no, women are gross. Ugh, no. But then I started like watching porn, and I was like, oh, I like women and men. So yeah.
So do you think that you equally enjoy men and women, or is there one that feels a little more, that pulls you a little bit more?
I kind of think I like women more, but I don't think I'm a lesbian. Like, I don't think I'm lesbian because I still do experience sexual attraction towards men, and I still do think that I could be in a relationship with a man.
But what was the last time you were in a relationship with a man?
Never. I haven't had very much dating experiences, but I do like to think a lot about these things. So I want to, have time to myself and think about my feelings and stuff like that before I get into a relationship, so I can know who I am as a person. If that
So
makes
you
sense.
haven't had any relationship experience yet?
No, but I
Man.
have like talked to people and stuff like that. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
When was the last time you had sexual contact with a woman and sexual contact with a man?
That hasn't happened either.
So you're a virgin.
Yeah.
Girl, get off the screen.
How old are you, girl?
What? I'm 19. I can participate in this conversation. I am 19.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
So
can.
okay, so my thing is this. This basically goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is that so? I mean, I'm gonna break it to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
You're a lesbian. They're like men.
I'm not a lesbian, and I'll tell you this. Okay.
Okay.
So
Now, how you gonna tell you how you?
Well, I'm
who you are?
listening to her conversation.
I don't know, but I'm gonna actually go back to Craig's point of people thinking that bisexuality is the inability to commit, and I want to go deeper than that. Obviously, I think they say there's a double standard in that women are more like being bisexual than men, and that's not true. Bisexual women are fetishized. Being fetishized is not being liked more. Okay. And it's not really the inability to commit. I think honestly it's the thought process behind a lot of people that you can like a woman as equally or more than you can like a man. Honestly, like when they say all bisexual men are gay, and they say women are going through a phase, the commonality in both of those situations is that they both like men only. So the thought process that you can equally like a woman or love a woman or want to have sex with a woman and a man is just no way, because once you had a man, it's like, what else? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, and see, and to that point, that's why I sometimes still kind of waffle, because I sometimes struggle with men who claim to be bisexual. I do believe that it's a thing. I'm just not certain I know any true bisexual men, because the gay guys that I know, and I'm saying they're gay, they may identify as bisexual, but I'm saying that they're gay because I may have known some of them for a decade and have never seen them date a woman, have sex with a woman, talk about a woman, pursue a woman, but they claim to be bisexual. And so it's just like, I think for some gay men, and I can't speak for women who identify as bisexual because I don't really know that space, but
Right.
experiences that I've had with men who claim to be bisexual, because they've had experience dating women at one point in their lives, they sometimes claim bisexuality. And I'm like, well, just because you dated a woman in high school or back in college, that doesn't mean that you're bisexual. We're talking about right here and right now, what you're doing concurrently, presently. And so for me, again, I do believe that bisexuality is a real thing, but sometimes I think that gay men sometimes conflate it, if you will.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can ask me a question.
So would it disappoint you to be a lesbian?
No, it would not disappoint me to be a lesbian at all. But I seen a comment that said, if I haven't had sex, how do I know? Just like gay people know that they're gay without having sex first, I know who I am, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, can you repeat that question again?
No, I'm just asking. Like I was asking you because you're like, I know I'm not a lesbian, but it's
Right.
like, but if you would you be disappointed if you were a lesbian?
No, I wouldn't be disappointed if I was a lesbian, but I just think I know myself, and just like you guys know yourselves and you knew that you were gay, even if you were hiding it or whatever, I also know myself, and I know that I'm bisexual, and I know and I experience sexual attraction to men and women. And also
but what you did, but you
Okay,
did say earlier that you do like women a little bit more than you like me.
yeah, I did say that, but
Okay.
also bisexuality is a spectrum.
Okay.
Well, I believe sexuality, period, is a spectrum. Whether you're
That's right.
bisexual, straight.
So if you like women 82%, but you like men 18%, you still bisexual?
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm just
But
I didn't say we on the same spectrum.
Right. But what I am saying though is I think that there are people who are straight who may be 82% straight, but they may be at that, like you said, they're 82% straight, but there's that 18% where they're not fully heterosexual.
Right.
Math real quick.
Absolutely. but I think there are some people who fall right in the middle of the spectrum, and I believe that those people are bisexual. But then I think that there are people who are 82% gay men, but they have children.
Right.
How many gay men do we know that have children?
I know, but they're not bisexual.
They were gay. They just happened to fuck some women while they were trying to identify who they were. Either they were trying to please their family or try to prove to themselves that they were heterosexual or whatever the case was, but then they arrived at their true selves. And to your point, Ashale, I agree with you because I too was the same way. Like before I ever had a sexual encounter with a guy, I used to think, oh, well, I'm not really gay because I haven't acted on it yet.
Right.
But the act itself doesn't make you gay. Again, I've said this so many times, sexuality is instinctive. It's how we're wired. It's the fibers of your being. It's a part of who you are. It's not a choice. It's not a decision. So even if you never act on it, you are just abstaining. So even though I had never had sex with a guy until I was 22, it didn't mean that I was not gay. It just meant that I had been abstaining. Like, you know, like the Johnny McClurkins of the world. And I hate to throw him out there.
But now, you know, we don't like to say names on here, child.
Well, you know, I had a couple cocktails, so I got here. Actually.
Right. You know, we try to keep it very clean.
Right, because we're trying to get funding and stuff. But you know, like people like that who say, well, I've ordered Eddie Long since he's gone.
You are really on one.
Well, Eddie Long is gone. But you know, like those people who said that they weren't gay, but it's just like, well, no, you just were abstaining. Doesn't mean that you weren't gay. The feelings were still there. The desires were still there.
So I like this, Renee. Can we just say fluid? Fluid is a term.
I personally don't mind if people use fluid, but I just know what I am, and I'm bisexual. I don't tell gay people what terms to use. You know, I know I'm bisexual, and I use that term. And I think back to the point that Craig made earlier when he was like a lot of gay men disguise themselves as bisexual. I think men and women are like trying to kind of use bisexuality as a stomping ground because it kind of makes them seem closer to heterosexuality, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think that it's more in vogue to say I'm bisexual than it is to say that I'm
not fully gay. I still like the other opposite sex. I'm not fully gay.
Yes. And Scoop, I'm not trying to tell her what she is. I agree with what she's saying. That's Derek telling her. That's Derek telling her that she's a lesbian.
I asked her, was it okay if she was one?
But before that, you said, "Oh, girl, you a lesbian." I love your name, by the way.
I want to say thank you for coming on with us and sharing your insight. You know what? And I appreciate you standing true in your truth. You know, and what it is. Like, I'm not here to tell you what you are, but you know, I was just challenging you on your conversation. And I want to say thank you. So I want you to stay here. We're gonna drop you back down. We're gonna bring the next person up. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And I am Truth. I know I have not had sex. I have not had intercourse with a man before, but I have had other encounters, sweetie. So, I mean, I know you put it up there 3 times, so I just want to make girl,
baby, this
move,
honey. This puppy is she needy.
She's needy. Go to bed. So no, I have not. I am Truth. So yes, okay.
All right, we're ready to move to the next person.
Yes.
All right, Derek.
Are you on? You gotta unmute yourself. Unmute.
Sorry about that.
There we go.
You know, Derek, I'm not gonna say you spelled your name wrong, but you know.
I know it's the old way. It's the old way of spelling it.
How are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. So we're here talking about the double standards of bisexuality. And one, how do you identify?
I identify as bisexual.
Okay. And then, so talk to us about why you want to be a part of this conversation.
I wanted to be part of this conversation because there's a lot of nuance in this conversation between both sides, I believe. I'm happy that you guys had a bisexual woman talk about the nuance of bisexual women being kind of fetishized more than anything, because I believe that's the main reason why society at large will easily accept them further than a man, because it's more fetishized, because men think about having two women in the bed with them. That's like something that straight men idolize. So it makes sense that it would be more accepted in that sense in patriarchy. But
and to that point, I think a lot of times women, and I think in the context of Black women, because I move in the space of mostly Black people, I think a lot of times Black women get caught up in, well, are you getting fucked? Like if they hear that a man is bisexual, or are you getting fucked? Are you sucking dick? You know what I'm saying? It's
well, I will say those are very important questions.
Those are very important questions.
I mean, because I think it's about, because I just feel that it's just me. I'm not bisexual. I do not know. But
thank you for the disclaimer.
Oh yeah, I was going to let people know. I'm not speaking for bisexual people, but I would say this for me: if I was a woman, you know,
one more fingernail polish and you will be.
But if I was a woman and I was dealing with a bisexual man, that's a very good, because like I said, to me, like a bisexual bottom, I can't see me. It's one thing, and not saying that if one is better than the other, but I can think that a woman can deal with a little bit better not knowing that her man is out here getting fucked.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing. I mean, so when it comes to you, because of being bisexual, and you heard our conversations about it, as a bisexual man, so have you dated a woman recently or dated a man recently, or is this something like, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24. So have you recently dated a woman in the distant past, or
in the recent past?
In the recent past, there you go.
Well, one, I dated women most in middle school, but I just started really dating men and like as I got older and like college and stuff like that.
So the last female that you dated was in middle school?
Yeah.
So this is the point that we're really trying to get to when it comes to this bisexuality.
And I actually want to challenge that as well. So
what you want to challenge?
I just want to challenge because to me it kind of sounds quantifiable, like you want to quantify how many relationships somebody has to make them bisexual, when that's not what it is. I have the capacity to be attracted to or sexually attracted to a man or a woman. So it doesn't matter how long the period has been since I've been with either.
Can I give you an example too?
Yeah,
so I can
it's a conversation.
Yeah, I could once be a millionaire and then not be a millionaire no more, but I have the potential to make $1 million, but you still can't call me a millionaire. It's the same thing, like, you know what I'm saying? So the thing is that because if you dated a woman in elementary school and you never dated a woman for the rest of your life, you're not bisexual.
Right. And that was the point that I was making a moment ago.
And I'm not trying to attack you, right. But I'm just saying,
we're just trying to make the distinction.
Yeah.
Because again, and I'm not at all trying to tell you how to identify or anything like that. But the point that I was making earlier was I know people personally who have said, oh, I'm bisexual. And I've known them 10 plus years. And in those 10 years, they've never dated a woman. They've never pursued a woman. They haven't had sex with a woman. So what I'm saying to them is, so because you've once had history with a woman, you think that you're bisexual? No, I think that was just a part of your journey to becoming a gay man or to realizing that you were a gay man. So my question to you is, how do you determine whether or not that was just your former life? And, because it doesn't, because you're 24 and you haven't dated a woman since, would you say middle school?
Yes.
So I just want to understand the distinction.
And middle school is like 13, 14 years old. So that's like 10 years ago. So I want to actually also say a question that I asked Ashley. Do you not want to be a gay man? Or would you feel okay?
There's nothing wrong with being a gay man, so I don't understand. But can you repeat the question you asked before that?
So my question is, are you currently attracted to women? Are you currently pursuing women? Are you currently having sex with women? Why do you identify as bisexual and not just gay, since it's been 10 plus years since you've had interaction with a woman on that type of level?
Well, I've had crushes and being sexually attracted to women still concurrently with when I'm talking to men as well. But
Gotcha.
So it's still a sexual attraction to women, just because I'm more so leaning on to talking to more men because I've never experienced that side of things before. So I've been leaning into that more. And also because women tend to not be attracted to a bisexual man because, again, they think you're gay. So they won't even come your way. So that hinders a lot of bisexual men from even trying to go out with straight women. And then even sometimes bi women have biphobia as well, where they won't date a bisexual man. So.
So the question that I should have asked Ashley, but I'll ask you as well, and maybe when we bring Ashley back up, we'll ask her. Are you forthcoming when you date?
Yes.
Well, you haven't dated a woman in 10 years, so there hasn't been a woman.
But when I do date, it's always something that I say up front. And like I'm on dating apps because, again, dating app age. That's in my profile. That's one of the first things on my profile, so that you know automatically that I'm bisexual. Some people don't because they don't feel like they have to disclose until they feel comfortable enough to tell you. But for me, I personally just want it to be out in the open, so you know up front, so we don't have to waste each other's time.
So when you're, I guess, craving sex or you're horny, are you horny for a woman or are you horny for a man? Is it both? Like what? And this is me asking you honestly. Like, are you?
Quite frankly, it depends on the day. Some days, it might be I might think of a guy, and some days I might think of a girl. It just depends on what state I'm in that day. Because again, I could see somebody on TV, that's a man, or see somebody that's a woman and be attracted to, and I might get horny off of that. So.
Horny is such a foul word.
Yeah, I don't that's a word, but.
Right. I'm like, what? I'm like, but so then my question to you is, can you honestly see yourself marrying a man or a woman?
Personally, I could see either or. So it's never been.
Okay. Well, Derek, thank you so much for joining this conversation. We're gonna drop you back down, but we're gonna bring you back up. We have a couple of people coming up in here.
Well, before we drop him down, I want to know why you haven't told Derek that he's a gay man, like you told Ashley she's a gay woman, she's a lesbian.
I asked him the same question.
Right, but I'm asking you, why didn't you tell him that he's a gay man? They just doesn't know things.
Why are you?
I'm just asking because he hasn't really said much different. I'm just asking.
Well, because. No, because the thing about it, to me, I don't have to say that to Derek because Derek is having a sexual relationship with a man. I should have had a sexual relationship with nobody.
Right.
That's what I said. So, but she was saying that she is sexually attracted. She's more attracted to women.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Derek, are you more attracted to men or women?
I'm not more attracted to either. It just depends on who I'm talking to at the moment.
But for the past 10 years.
But for the past 10 years, you haven't talked to a woman. So that's what.
But again, that goes again to what the question is. There's a double standard, and the double standard disallows.
Oh no, I told her she was a lesbian. I'm telling you, gay too. That's what I said. I'm saying, it's not. What I'm saying to you is that I just feel. And I know this conversation is not black and white. I really do.
Right.
And as much as we want to make it black and white,
It's not.
It's not black and white. And and believe me, I do get it. This conversation is for sake of conversation.
Right.
But in a black and white world, you will either be straight or gay,
or bisexual.
Black and white world. In the black and white world, either you're straight or you're gay.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff in between is just
fluff
and fun.
But I just want to dig a little bit more with you because, again, you are really the epitome of the example that I started with. I didn't even know what you were going to talk about, but I literally know a couple guys. They move in the gay community, they date men, they talk about men, they looking at guys. I've never seen them talk about women, have sex with a woman, but they still claim to be bisexual. And so I'm just trying to get a little bit more clarity from you. And I'm sure that there are people that are watching that are asking the same thing.
Yeah.
Continue, but I just want to answer what you were saying right there. I just want
to
go ahead.
So again, this is the thing what I'm talking about with quantifying it. Just because you haven't seen somebody do something does not mean that they're not who they are. Like, just because you haven't seen somebody with a person doesn't take their sexuality or identity out of the question. They know who they are.
So Derek, question for you. So if you don't date if you date a man for the next 20 years, you still would consider yourself to be bisexual?
Yes, because I still have the capacity to have sexual relationships with women and romantic relationships with women.
Okay.
Well, so if you had a sexual romantic relationship with a woman, do you think that you would still be longing for a man? Or do you think that woman would completely satisfy you?
No, I really don't.
Okay.
I was like, of course, we all have fleeting emotions when we're like, we'll see somebody that's attractive no matter if we're in a relationship or not. If somebody's attractive, they're attractive, period. But
so when was the last time you had sex was with a guy? Obviously, because you said it's been 10 years since a woman. How recent was that?
That was probably like 2 years ago.
So you haven't had sex in 2 years?
No.
And now see, that kind of brings some clarity. Because what I'm saying is, I was under before I asked that question, I was under the impression that he was actively having sex with guys because he had said he hadn't dealt with a woman since he was in middle school or girl. So that kind of, brings some clarity. Okay, so you're not out here just having sex with guys. So, there is a possibility with him that it could be a male or female. Okay. All right, well, hang around. We're going to go to our next person. Did you want to debrief on that?
No. I'm here. And Amber, I know you are our resident correspondent, girl, but stop challenging me, girl. We having a conversation, girl.
Right? We asking for clarity.
We asking questions. Does it? Okay, y'all. Let's get this very straight. Does any of this really matter? No. But this is a conversation that also needs to be had. Like, do I really care if Ashley or Derek or Anthony is coming up or Karen or Ali are bisexual? I really don't. Like I said, that y'all live your life, be what it is. But I do think there's a lot of people that's in this conversation. A lot of people in this chat, and there's a lot of people that's in this world that do care.
Yeah.
So we're here to have these conversations to have clarity. That's what it is.
Right.
So, honey, live your life, child. I'm out here. I'm a gay man. Ain't having no damn sex, honey. So, we all got our situations going on.
And Pat, that's exactly what I was getting to. So, can you really claim bisexuality if you only pursue one sex?
Well, that's what we all trying to say. But obviously, and I wasn't comparing sexuality to money. I was, because he kept saying there's a possibility.
Yeah.
So there's a possibility we can do a lot of things.
Right.
There's a possibility that I could like a woman too.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I'm bisexual.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
I could like a woman one day.
Right.
But I'm not a bisexual man.
Right.
I said we could be millionaires one day.
Right.
We're not saying we millionaires.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could be pansexual one day. But I'm not saying that. So, coulda, shoulda, wouldas can't define who you are.
Right.
You know, so it's like, oh, I may have the possibility to want to be with a woman 10 years from now, so I'm bisexual. If that's how you want to explain it, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm. So somebody in the comments said pursuit and attraction are different things. No. So I just figured I would Google real quickly the definition for bisexuality. It says it's an attraction to more than one gender. Those who identify as bisexual feel a sexual and or romantic attraction to people of different gender as well as their own. So I guess that means that you don't necessarily have to be pursuing and you don't have to actually be having sex. Well, I guess I'm bisexual because I see women that I'm attracted to.
Yeah, we all bisexual. I mean,
I see women that I'm attracted to all the time.
Well, I don't.
Well, not attracted where I want to fuck them.
Why are you to say that so
right?
powerful?
So Baltimore.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I see women that I'm attracted to all the time. Not that I want to have sex with them, but I see them. I'm like, damn, she's bad. Like we were out the other night, and I saw this black woman. She was an older woman. She had mixed gray hair. She had short. It was short on the sides. It was natural. It was a little bit on the top. She was fly. She had these black boots. They had like a little silver spike.
So I mean, so were you attracted to her as a? But
that's what I'm trying to.
Was she a gay man? Was you your gay man? And was like, oh, she a fly girl.
It probably was a little bit of my gay man in there that was like, oh yeah, she bad.
Right, gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I complimented her. And I said, oh my God, you really look amazing.
Let's talk to Karen, and then so we got 3 more people in the bottom. So we're gonna jump over to Karen.
Yes. Hey Karen.
Hello. How are you all?
Well, how are you?
I'm fine. Y'all like totally caught me off guard. I'm in here eating.
So what's going on, Karen?
A whole lot of nothing. I feel there's so many things that I want to say about you all's topic. I feel that this is an awesome platform. Let me just get that out the way first and foremost.
Thank
this is
you,
a really
Karen.
great topic. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So no problem. Honestly, as far as this bisexual thing, I would really like to hear more from the men. But I feel like it's such a stigma against guys taking dick, period, point blank, versus, for real, versus women being bisexual, dibbling and dabbling. As far as women, like, I honestly feel that everyone is bisexual, to be honest. And I mean, as far as women...
I told you very clear, Karen. I like men. Don't want no woman. No parts of it.
Well, look, let me ask you this. What if you get a guy, right? What if you get a guy and he gets a little frustrated with the anal play? Would you bring a woman in then and let her just give you head while he fuck her?
Oh my God, you about to make me
First of all,
wait, girl, wait a minute, Karen. Girl, now you
take it down too fast. Karen, you take it down too fast.
You know my whole heart just jumped on my chest. Girl, what are you like? Karen, that's too much for me right now, Karen. But I mean, no, I can't. Oh God, okay. Let's just move on here. So talk to me, Karen.
All right, baby stuff.
Girl, you
baby
stuff. Me out, girl. I'm like, you done got me all high. I'm like, I'm flustered now. I don't know what to say. But so why did you want to jump in on this conversation, Karen?
Yeah, I'm not gonna overtalk. I feel like you all give excellent platforms, and y'all don't ever have enough delivery time for each of you all's overwhelming perspective. So I more or less would like for you all to feel free to ask me questions about this whole bisexual thing.
What are you bisexual?
Yes, absolutely.
So how did you know that you were bisexual? When did you know? How did you know, and when did you know?
Well, before that, how old are you, Karen?
I'm 32.
Okay. And then how did you know, and when did you know?
Okay. I knew that I was bisexual around high school. And I actually concretely knew and confirmed my bisexuality, me being bisexual, just 2 years ago. And I will say that, and I'm
you were 30.
Yes. At first, I felt so down and so humiliated and oppressed about it. But I was happy that I got to the point that I'm at now because I had to allow myself to do some grave digging. And what made me find out was that I was bisexual is because when I was younger, I was completely attracted to women, 100%. And there were a lot of mannerisms of myself internally
Mm-hmm.
to where I felt more like a guy. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say I felt more like a guy. I would say that I wasn't so girly on the inside. I knew that I would like to look nice and carry
Mm-hmm.
myself in a womanly manner because, for one, I'm a female and I'm still would like to be respected as such, lesbian or not. But anyway, to the point, I was always attracted to women when I was younger. And as far as family and outside perspectives, there was always that beating, not physically, but just being like, you need to dress like a girl. You need to carry yourself more feminine. You need to wear girl clothes. You need to do this, that, and the third. And then there was that, I suppose, like middle school, when you start growing some more, then you start getting these opinions of, if I wanted a boy, God would have let me birth a boy. I'm not raising a son, things to that nature. Then there was that
Mm-hmm.
forcing of, oh, well, Kay, he's cute. You should date him. It's time for you to start looking into men. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I sleep with this boy, it'll make me more womanly. I won't feel like I like women so much. And I just kept doing it and kept doing it like fucking guys. And trying to make myself straight to where it's just like I got to a point where it's like, oh my God, this is so draining because I'm still not happy. I need to do what makes
So
Kay happy.
Well, Karen, so you a lesbian?
that's all I was gonna say. So
That
why
makes-
then aren't you a lesbian?
No, no. And that's another part that I wanted to go into as well. I know that I tend to go on a tangent and be redundant. I'm not a lesbian because I dug into that as well. And I know that I fully accepted the fact that there are good men out there. All men are not bad, and there are good women out there. And I'm happy to say that I've honestly had the opportunity to have met a nice guy or two, that type thing. And I honestly could say that I've had the opportunity to meet a nice woman or two, that type of thing. But it's just that thing where it's kind of like dating. You meet someone, it's people for a season and people for a lifetime. So I was happy to say that, it didn't work out, but at the end of the day, I'm still on good terms with those men and those women whom I've had sexual encounters with, or whom, just where we crossed the line, where I crossed the line enough with a woman to say, well, shit, she not straight. And I crossed the line enough with a guy to say, well, she will fuck a man a time or two, that type thing. So it's more or less whatever high power it is places in my life at the end of the day. And, that's just what it's going to be. And I'm not going to
You know,
question it.
what's interesting to me about what you said and what I've heard, and I could be wrong, but what I'm hearing you say is because of what your environment told you, whether it was family and friends, oh, you need to date a guy, you need to dress like a girl. It was almost like you were conditioned
to go into that, to
go into this
space.
Yeah, that you needed to be with men sometimes, but because your instincts were driving you to women, you dated women too, but you only dealt with the men because
everybody told you to.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. However, let me say this as well. I'm happy that's very true, and I will accept that. But I also want to say that out of that bad, there was a lot of good because I realized that at the end of the day, even though it's sad as it is in society these days, your environment, your workplace, and things to that nature, being a woman, and no disrespect at all, Derek, I swear, no disrespect at all. I noticed that. No,
So what-
with what I'm about to say.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I know. Yeah, thank you. I noticed that I gained a lot, that I was respected a lot more when I dressed like a female, when I wasn't so butchy. And it was
Well, that was
sad.
what I was saying a moment ago. That was what I was saying a moment ago too about a lot of gay men who will claim bisexual and not gay because it's more in vogue. It's more acceptable, you know, to be a man who deals with women. Also, like you're not just into guys, but you do at least have an attraction to women too.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Karen,
It's sad, but true.
Oh, well, I want to say thank you because we got some people popping up in here. But I want to say thank you. We're going to drop you down. We're going to bring you back up again. Okay, babe?
You're welcome. Thank you.
You know,
now let me say something.
Go ahead.
And y'all might beat me up on this comment, but baby said this bisexual thing ain't. These people ain't making no good
they ain't making a good case for you. Right.
Baby, I'm trying to tell you now. I'm just now. You know, all of it is on woulda, coulda, shouldas, and you know what we can be and what. I'm just. This only making me stand stronger to what I believe in. I'm just saying now, you know.
Christine said, "Karen, girl, you got me confused, babe."
Karen, I mean, and we listened to your story, Karen, and it was a situation of what we all could have been in.
Yeah.
You know, where it was like, you know, where they want to push me up more and wanted me to be with women. I could have started dating a woman, and even though I know I like men, it just.
And the same piece that we were talking about earlier, a lot of gay men who have children.
Yeah.
They a lot of times have children because they went down that road because their family kind of conditioned them and they were trying to please their family and society and work and whatever.
So that's not okay, you guys. So nobody else popped in here. We're gonna talk to these last three people because we have to wrap this up a little bit. So let's jump to Anthony. Okay. And then we'll
Hey Anthony.
Hey boy, hey.
How are you?
Boy, hey.
I'm doing great. And thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Come on, words never spoken in one thing for certain, two things for sure.
But listen, I was going to say to you earlier, before you actually looked up the definition, the desire, the bisexuality is not in the act, it's in the desire. It's just like if a male is born heterosexual, he could be 16 and want to fuck a female and never have. He's still a heterosexual male.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just because he hasn't had sex doesn't make him other. You know?
Right.
So Derek, although you haven't had sex with a male, you desire a man and you're attracted sexually to a man. So that makes you gay. You know, so that's fact there. And then you had also, when y'all were having a conversation earlier at first, when you were saying you never heard of a bisexual bottom. Well, my gay son that lives in Texas, prior to him getting married to a man, because he's married to a man right now, happily. But prior to that relationship, he had a situationship or an entanglement with a male on a regular, ongoing basis, which happens to be engaged with a female, and they have children, have a family, and living lovely. But yet he was coming over to my son's house on a regular basis, getting muddied out and slutted out.
Can you explain to the people that are listening what mudded out means?
They know what that is, Craig.
Getting his box broke in.
but what I'm saying to you, Anthony, is not that I've never heard of it. I see Amber that popped in. She got her
she got her hand on her head like she vexed.
Right. and so I believe I do understand that, and I get all of this. But I just think that if we use the definition that you gave, is just the intent, not the attention or the attraction.
The attraction.
Then yes, we all are bisexual. We all find
no. It's not the attraction. It's the sexual attraction. Because like Craig said, he saw girls the other day that he thought was gorgeous and fine. I see women that's gorgeous and fine. Some of my females is gorgeous and fine, but I don't want to fuck them.
I don't want to fuck them.
Right.
You know, so that's what I was trying to understand.
Attraction.
That's what I was trying to understand from Derek, who we had in here earlier. Because are you driven to them? And even with Ashale, are you driven to the same sex and the opposite sex? Like, or do you find them just attractive?
Yeah.
Or do you see yourself?
It was kind of confusing to me because was it Karen?
Yeah, Karen.
That girl. She was kind of confusing. The one who didn't show her face. It was confusing to me because she said, like you said, she was basically dealing with the men because of her surrounding.
Right.
Coached her that way. And then even when you asked her about it, you know, she still was holding on to the bisexuality, but her defense was, well, there's some good men, but that wasn't the question was, are those good men? Are you attracted sexually to them? Because yes, they may be good men, but are they for you? That's my question for Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on bisexuality? Are you bisexual?
I'm definitely not. Strictly dickly.
You what?
Strictly dickly.
You love people talk vulgar.
Because communication is our partner, clarity is our friend.
Amen.
So, but what are your thoughts?
Say that again for those in the GED section.
What'd you say?
Say that again for those in the GED section.
Yes, indeed.
What are your thoughts on bisexuality?
I think there is such a thing, and it definitely is real. Like I said, it's based on an individual's desire. So even if, let's say, I agree with you when you said, let's say, if you're a gay man, let's say you had sex with a woman once or twice, does that make you bisexual? No, because that's not your desire. You could have been trying something. Exactly. And it's so sad that society, mostly females, when the man does that, is, oh, you're gay. No, he was experimenting. He was learning himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that goes for straight men. And I'm only doing this for the straight women who don't think that a man can be straight if he's had an experience with another guy. But there are straight men who may have had their dick sucked or may have had sex with a guy in an isolated situation. I'll even take it a step further. I think that there are instances where there are heterosexual men that are incarcerated for extended periods, and they may have sex in jail, but that don't mean that when they come out they fucking with a man. And now there are people who would think that they are gay.
Their desire.
They don't have that desire. They only did it because of their geography.
Mm-hmm. Or take another step further. Gay for pay.
Gay for pay.
You don't know what their financial situation is or what their struggle in life is.
Exactly.
If you offer enough coins, they may do what needs to be done.
Right. And I'm not saying that the men that are incarcerated for whatever period of time, and then you're gonna have people to say, well, how long is he locked up? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna have people say, well, if he's only in there for 3 months, then what does he do? But again, your sexual desires are sometimes, I guess, challenged, if you will, if you're in jail. But if you come out, you may not ever deal with another guy.
Not even look that way.
Not even look that way. And I don't think that makes you gay. That's not bisexual either. I think you're a straight man who was in a circumstance, and you just, because sex is a need. It is a need.
Definitely. Trust and believe.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for your insight on this. I appreciate you stopping in. We're going to drop you down. Go ahead and bring on Amber up, child.
Oh, child.
Because I know she might be here. Thank you, Anthony.
All right.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Amber.
Because she got her nails on tonight.
Girl, what?
Yeah, I already know.
Girl,
she got her notes. She got her notes. She got her nails on.
Okay, so Amber, before you get started, Amber, I was just using an analogy. I was not comparing bisexuality to money. I was just using an analogy from what he was saying. That's all.
I understand that. I ain't really on that. I'm just start what you said at the beginning about saying that you don't believe in bisexuality is biphobic, and you racist people who actually identify as bisexual. Okay. So just because y'all know men who identify as gay that have been in a relationship or haven't been with a woman for like over 10 years, whatever it is, that doesn't mean that they're not bisexual. That means that they're a bisexual man that's in a gay relationship.
But what does it mean when we're not pursuing, though?
That's if you're not bisexual. Pursuing somebody.
Before we go there, Amber, I'm not being racist towards bisexual people, girl. So you taking it too far, child. I was just saying huh? You said biphobic, I'm going to say. Biphobic. Yeah, biphobic. I'm not being biphobic. I would have said, well, I talk to bisexual people. I ain't scared of their asses.
Oh, my God. Okay, Derek.
I'm just saying, but go ahead.
I just don't, annoying because you have one spectrum that's saying, okay, people who claim to be bisexual are only greedy and they can't commit. But then on the other spectrum, if you have somebody that's committing in a relationship who identifies bisexual, be like, oh, well, you're not bisexual, you're a lesbian. Or, oh, you're not bisexual, you're gay. Like, how does that work? Like,
but so talk to me. So because you be part of our conversations and you do have a voice about these things. So my question to you, Amber, is that if you like say somebody like Derek that hasn't dated somebody in 10 years, a woman in 10 years, you know what I'm saying, and you're in a relationship with a man, do you say that I'm a bisexual person in a gay relationship?
Yes. He's a bisexual man that's in a committed gay relationship.
For me, to me, I just don't understand that. And I'm trying, and that's why I'm having this conversation to understand
the distinction. Because do you agree with me when I say that there are gay men who claim that they're bisexual because at some point in their dating history that they dated a woman. But I think that there's a crop of men who are gay who claim to be bisexual because they dated a woman at some point in their trajectory. But that was just the road to being gay. It's almost like the transition of a gay man, just like a trans girl or trans man transitions. I think there are gay men who transition, but they claim to be bisexual. But I think that's just a part of the journey.
I think a lot of that has to do with internalized homophobia because, like, Ashley? I think she said that people, when they first come out, they identify as bisexual because it's closer to being straight. Yeah. So I think a lot of that is rooted in homophobia, like internalized homophobia.
But see, I think that's a part of the journey. Like, so if the train begins at heterosexuality, right? The next stop is bisexual. Then the next stop is gay, right? You get off the train where you identify.
Not necessarily because it's different for everybody.
But that's what I'm saying. How do you distinguish between those that are truly bisexual and those who were just on their course to being who they really are, and that's a gay person? How do you distinguish between the two?
I mean, you just listen to whatever they tell you, I guess. That's my business. Whatever people tell me, that's what I just go with. Because I mean, it really don't matter.
Well, no, and you're absolutely right. It really doesn't. The conversation is that it really doesn't matter. Like I said to somebody, if you tell me that you like a sock, then you like socks, honey. I'm not going to argue with you on socks. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is. You like that? I'm not going to argue with you about this. But this is a conversation of just clarity. You know?
Right. But I think society tries to place people in boxes just so they are able to better, like,
understand.
Yes, like they place you in a box just so they can understand you better. And that, like, I really don't understand it. When you simply mind your business or go off of what they tell you and respect that. Because this whole double standard of bisexuality is rooted in homophobia. And that's what nobody's trying to say. Like the women that's saying, oh, it's my preference. I just don't want no nigga that like niggas. Or, oh, you fucking with a nigga that got dookie dick. Like, bitch, you're homophobic.
You fucking with a nigga that got what?
Dookie dick. That's what they say in the hood. That's what they say.
Dick.
That's what is dick? Men who have had sex with men and then try to go back and have sex with a woman, they be like, oh, nah, that nigga got dookie dick. I don't want to fuck with him. Like, that's homophobic.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Dookie dick. Oh my.
Amber, thank you.
It's a lot of it's mainly gay. It's mainly the men that get a lot of backlash with this. And it's not really the women, because people, like somebody else was saying, they fetishize two women being together, so they don't get as much backlash as men. But the same women who be like, oh nah, I can't fuck with no nigga that's been with a man, you be letting your homegirl eat your pussy on the weekend when y'all get drunk. So like, how can you say that?
But see, that was one of the points that I wanted to bring up too, because a lot of women, you may not want to agree in the comments, but a lot of women, straight women, have had sexual encounters in college.
Yes.
But then they identify as straight.
Yeah, because an experience doesn't mean that you have to identify that way. It was just an experience. And a lot of people just don't fucking read enough. And I blame the sex and sexuality education or the lack thereof for that, because a lot of people don't know the proper terms and terminology for shit, and they just start opening their fucking mouth and don't know what they're talking about. And you end up offending a lot of people by not knowing what you're talking about.
That is true.
Right. Well, that's part of the reason why we do these conversations too. To get a little more clarity on things.
And last thing, I want y'all women to know that bisexual men are way better in bed. That's all I want y'all to know. Way better.
Well, I want to tell the straight women that gay men are better in bed, period.
Bye, Amber. Don't get Craig started neither. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome. I love y'all.
All right, love you too. Born to be a star. Take your mute off.
All right, can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah. Yes. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I love both of you guys. Like literally, I've been a fan of you, Derek, for forever. Literally.
Because they're famous.
Well, you about to be.
And then Craig, I've been a fan of you since I see you with Maddie, and I'm like part of the Maddie mob. And then I joined your Patreon.
Thank you.
And now I feel like I know you guys, but
I appreciate it.
I am a person who, first of all, identifies as bisexual. And I like to call myself a strict bisexual person because anytime I'm with someone, whether it's a woman or a man, I explain to them that my attraction for the same or opposite sex will not change. Like, just because I'm with a man, I'm not going to sit here and stop looking at women. And just because I'm with a woman, I'm not going to sit here and stop looking at men.
Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that you can't commit to whomever you're with.
Yeah.
What? Wait a minute now. And she don't sound like she faithful.
Not at all.
And she don't sound like she faithful.
Okay, so wait.
Hey girl, hey.
I don't really. So I've only ever been in one committed relationship with a woman because. Okay. I think Craig, you could probably agree with me on this. Derek, you haven't tried it yet, but that D be good.
Oh no, I ain't had it, but I know about it. And yes, I ain't want no cooch. So I know that much.
But I'm always honest. I always say, like, no matter what, my whole thing is honesty. Like honesty and transparency. I've been in a couple of non-monogamous relationships. I think that's the last time I was on here when you guys were talking about non-monogamy. So I practice ethical non-monogamy sometimes, not in all relationships. There are some people who I've just been so wrapped up into and so in love with that I didn't want anybody else in my entire world or universe. And then there's other people who just don't do that for me. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to speak to a couple of things that Amber said because I think she made some extremely valid points. And some I agreed with, some I didn't agree with. So number one, I don't believe that just because someone does not like a certain distinction to date themselves, that makes them homophobic or biphobic. Like, I feel like at any time I've had men tell me that they can't deal with me because they are really pretty much like off put by the fact that I'll still look at women. And I'll be like, what's the problem? We're looking at the same thing. But it really bothers them. And I don't think they're biphobic. It's just they know that the way their jealousy is set up, they can't handle their partner looking at anyone else, let alone somebody with parts that they can't supply.
Yeah.
As far as bisexual women, like kind of not claiming it because they can fetishize it, I definitely feel like that. I've dealt with a lot of women who have pretty much told their man they're straight, and their man is cool with them having a little fling with me, but they don't claim it. They just claim to be completely heterosexual. Oh no, I only like men. I just have a friend I play with. No, sweetie, we've been playing for 10 years now. This ain't no play no more.
Yeah.
it's something you like. But it is easy for a woman to go into a relationship and say, hey, I like women, but just a little bit is not a problem. And because so many men just want the experience of possibility of a threesome, or like, oh, the possibility of watching that, it's just so hot to them. In the same frame, I like to watch gay, triple X videos because I find that hot. So, like, I think it can be both ways. It depends on everyone's preference. But I think that one of the issues with bisexual people as a whole and it not being accepted is because so many people won't come out and just declare their bi-ness. And I think as more people declare, I like men, I like women, I like both equally. Maybe some people like one more than the other, but I think that's the problem. We need people to come out and say, I'm bisexual and I'm sticking to it. I'm not going to be bisexual one day and then claim to be straight the next day because I got delivered.
Right. Or because your family has kind of conditioned you to go in one direction.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And with my brother, I have a brother that came out and he's bisexual. And it's become a whole thing in our family. Now with me, nobody has really said too much. They have a bit of it, I had a little bit of an issue with it, but I guess since I am a cisgendered woman, it's not as big of a problem for my family. Whereas for my brother, it was a bigger issue.
So they was more accepted from you than it was from your brother.
Yes. So I do recognize that for men, it is a harder cross to bear for men.
Right. Which is the point of this conversation. Which is the point of this conversation, the double standard of bisexuality, because oftentimes women can move through it. And I know that's relative to say that, because I know there are women who identify as bisexual who feel the plight of that. But I do think that it's probably easier because, again, like I was saying a moment ago, oftentimes I know a lot of women that had an experience with another woman in college and they're open about it and told people about it, but people don't say, oh, girl, you a lesbian. They look at that as an isolated thing. But let a guy say, oh, yeah, I used to get my dick sucked in college or whatever. You gay. You're gay,
Board of Being Star, thank you for your insight. We're going to drop you back down. I'm going to do a quick roundabout real quick, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good one.
No, thank you.
All right.
So for everybody, I want to say, God, you're moving too fast.
I thought you wanted Karen to come in.
Well, I said a roundabout.
Oh, go ahead.
So what we're getting ready to do, you guys, is that, so I want to ask you guys a question. So I want you guys to be queued up for the question.
Right.
And basically what I want to know is that for people that just don't understand, for people that is trying to put you in this box, that's trying to wrap their heads around you, that's trying to just understand, what is the message that you would give that person? Is it okay, Craig?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I didn't use any.
No, that was good.
Big words. Okay, I just want to make sure because you was looking. I know if you want me to use,
No, that was good.
Okay, so we'll start with how we came up.
Derek?
No, Ashalai.
Oh, Ashalai. Okay, Ashalai.
So you've been hearing all the conversations. You've been hearing all of our thoughts, people's thoughts. You've been seeing the chat. So for the person that's trying to just wrap their head around it, what would you say to them?
Around bisexuality?
Yes.
Honestly.
No, but take that back. Not just bisexuality and you. Like if somebody, because really at the end of the day, bisexuality is just a big thing. But I know there's somebody trying to figure out Ashalai. Like what is going on? Like, so what would you say to them just to wrap up you?
Honestly, as far as my sexuality is concerned, if you're not trying to date me, it's really none of your business. Honestly, it's just the whole truth about it. If you're not trying to pursue that person, it's none of your business. It's like how people are very invasive of trans people and they always ask them questions about their bodies. That's not your body. It's none of your business. It's not your gender. So if you're not trying to pursue me romantically or sexually, I don't really care about your opinion. So if you're biphobic, What
I'm
am I
not
supposed to do with
biphobic,
that? No, I'm not saying you're
Oh, okay.
biphobic. I'm just saying
Amber just threw that out there, honey, and I'm not biphobic.
I'm just saying like all these questions, like if you don't want to date a bisexual woman, if you don't want to do all that, that has nothing to do with me. I'm just gonna pursue people that are interested in me and that respect my sexuality and can come to terms with that. So that's what I want. That's my message, I guess.
Thank you, Ashley. And I appreciate you being part of this conversation.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for your email.
Thank you.
All right.
Derek.
Derek,
Derek, same question for you.
Okay. So what I want to leave with is, again, like Ashalag, if we're not dating me, it's pretty much my own fucking business. But I do want to say, if you guys are having a hard time understanding, if you guys are having a hard time understanding, there is resources like by POC on by.org that you can go on that organization to make sure that you guys educate your own selves on what bisexuality actually is. It's not just about sex, it's about the attraction, just like how some people quantify gay with sexuality and it only being sex. It's the same thing with bisexuality. It's more about the attraction and the sexuality part of it as well. So just educate yourselves, just like you would educate yourselves on everything else.
Thank you. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate you being part of the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know, Amber, you ain't gotta jump back up on here. I know that ain't what you said. I know what you said. I'm just messing with you, girl. I see you. I got you, girl. We good. You ain't gotta come. Don't try to come on here collect me. I see you, girl. I got you. Yes, she didn't say I was biphobic. She said my comment was. I got you, Amber. Okay, thank you. We go to Anthony.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Okay, Anthony. You're not bi, but what would you like to say to people that's trying to just wrap their heads around?
I think for those who are trying to put us in a box or keep us in a box, so first of all, I haven't seen a box that's big enough to hold me. You know what I'm saying? I think I kicked out of that box way back in elementary school. But just what the two just said, Derek and also Ashley, but I'm going to say it my way. If you don't feed, fuck, or finance me, then your opinion really doesn't matter. It's totally irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm my own person, and the only person I have to live for is me. And I think the way I've always carried myself with my friends and family, I've always been very accepting, and they've always accepted me. So I have friends on both sides of the track, you know, the heterosexual world as well as the straight world, and we blend, and there's no issue there. So I am who I am.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate
you. Welcome.
All righty.
Get the Karen.
Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Hello.
Okay, so same question to you. What you want to end this conversation with that you want people to know, and especially about you?
Well, okay. If I could, especially about me, shit, it's whatever. I suppose that my opinion to others would best describe myself. I would recommend get some good mentor, get some good guidance as far as the LGBTQ community. Mature, not just some people who are immature, who are off the head, who still out there attempting to find themselves, get their lives together, and got a whole bunch of shit going on with them behind closed doors. You know what I mean? Like, get you someone that's like Anthony, that's like Craig, that's like Derek, you know, that can lead you in love, like positivity, and especially get your mind in the right place. But I would also have them know that they need to have some business going on about themselves as well, because if you get the right mentors, they're not going to be with that dead weight shit. It's going to be pull yourself up by the bootstraps. The other part is I would recommend that they get in some good threesomes and shit. You know, get in with two women, get in with two men, you know, just really get out there and test the waters all the way. And don't be afraid or ashamed of anything. And also remember that at the end of the day, you know, there is no birth without blood. So you're gonna feel some bumps and bruises, but just keep going and don't worry about it.
All right. Thank you so much, darling.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And Born to Be a Star.
Final thoughts?
And your final thoughts, darling?
Well, my main thing dealing with me and the public's opinion of bisexuality specifically, I honestly think that the entire population of Earth needs to mind the business that pays them when it comes to who is in whose bed, because, and that's just like not even just specific to me, just even if you think what I'm doing is a sin, it's not going to send you to hell, so leave me alone. So that's what I tell everybody. I mean, mind the business that pays you, and if what I'm doing is not going to send you flaming in hell, if that's what you believe and that's what you're trying to convince me of, leave me alone, because I'm an adult person. I make the decisions that I make, and I'm comfortable in who I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, darling. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. Whew.
Well, do you feel?
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm about to ask this question, but I already have the answer to it.
Yes.
But you said they weren't really making a great case to change your mind.
Well, you know what? Born to Be a Star was giving me she was giving me a little something.
Okay. Because my question was going to be, do you feel like this has helped clarify?
Why are you laughing?
Because I already know the answer is no.
Listen, I mean, look. My opinion did not matter. My opinion does not matter on this situation. I feel like there are. Why are you in my phone?
I was just,
My opinion does not matter. Stop. I'm sorry, y'all. This dog is. My sister's not here to watch her dogs, so that's why I'm here. My opinion does not matter on it. Do I feel that there are bisexual people in the world? There could be. If we go by what the definition is. If it's a sexual attraction to another person, then yes, people are bisexual. If we're going by what the definition of it is, then yes. If we're going by definition.
Right. Okay. Well, listen.
What about you, Craig?
Well, I came in saying that I believe that bisexuality exists.
Not really. You were very on the fence.
No.
You said no, Craig. Wait. You are such a liar.
Wait, did I not say from the beginning that there was once upon a time that I didn't think that it was? But
in the same conversation, you say I do know bisexual men that I don't really think they're bisexual though.
No. I said no. What I said was I do believe that it exists, but I know some gay men who claim to be bisexual, I don't think that they are.
But do you know any bisexual people?
Well, they claim to be, but I don't. I don't personally.
So you're just being politically correct. It's fine.
No, I'm not.
It's fine.
I'm saying I don't know anybody who dates men and also dates women concurrently. I don't know anybody that does that. I don't. But that's neither here nor there. But hopefully that offers some clarity to you all.
Yes. So what are we talking about in 2 weeks, Craig?
In 2 weeks. Our next conversation is, you ready for this?
How do I get, oh, Lord Jesus.
How do I get ready for sex?
Oh, this is going to take me out.
That's for the bottoms and for the tops.
Well, and for the women.
Well, okay.
Women got to get ready too.
Okay, so this is the conversation that we're inviting Black women to come into as well.
Well, lesbian women.
Well, okay. Anybody can. Okay, lesbians, straight Black women, trans people, whomever. This is the conversation for you. This is one of our conversations that we said we were going to incorporate so that you all can participate. Lord. So how do you get ready for sex?
I don't know. That's a great question.
And what does that involve?
What does that involve?
Does it involve showering, bathing?
Some people nothing.
And those would get nothing from me.
But you're not into that.
I need you to bathe.
Some people like fetishy.
Well, let me say this in preparation for the next conversation.
Yes.
Now, I'm not a single man now, but once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just going to be completely transparent with you all because everybody don't want you to be fresh.
That's true.
Out the shower.
That
Some people like a little must. Some people
true.
like a little pepper.
That is true.
Some people like a little stench.
That is true.
And, I had a little piece.
Wait, can we say that for next week?
Oh, okay.
We got to say that for the announcement.
Okay, in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
But he used to like me right.
Oh, didn't I say save it for the announcement?
Okay, so on March 21st,
yes,
we're going to be talking about how do you get ready for sex. So here's the flyer again.
Yes, how do you get ready for sex?
And if you want to participate in this conversation, what was that?
If you want to participate in this conversation, email us.
It's right at the bottom.
Right.
It's scrolling across the bottom.
Underneath the fleet. Right here. Email us at glmconvo@gmail.com so we can have this conversation.
My girl Desiree said not stank though.
But so listen, so this is a fun conversation.
This is a fun conversation.
So let's just have fun with the conversation. We want to talk to everybody about this.
Right.
And then plus y'all can teach me. I don't know.
So email us. glmconvo@gmail.com.
Yes.
Email us. Let us know why you want to participate. It's going to be 2 weeks from today. That's March 21st at 9 p.m.
Yep. Thank you, guys. This was a very interesting conversation. I enjoyed it. I would like to say I've learned some things, but
you didn't.
I didn't. I learned that I shouldn't make biphobic comments.
Mm-hmm.
From Amber.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but hopefully enlighten some other people.
2 weeks is not March 21st? I mean, it's March 7th. I meant March 7th. I'm sorry, it's March 7th. I said March 21st. It is right on the flyer, right?
Is it? Yes, March 7th.
March 7th.
Yes.
Yeah, March 7th. I'm sorry. But yeah, March 7th, we're going to have that conversation. So anyway, we'll see you then.
Yes.
Thank you for being here tonight. Please hit the share button on this video.
Share, all that good stuff. Also hit this Cash App button.
Yeah, because this shit costs.
Yes, it does. So, but thank you guys very much, and we will see you guys. Well, we will do our announcement. We didn't do it this week because Craig was busy.
I was out of the country, and if you're on my Patreon, then you know I was out of the country.
And have a good night.
If you want to join the Patreon, then here's how you do it. Bye.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and I'm inviting you to join my Patreon. Don't know what a Patreon is? It's my official video diary with only exclusive content that you won't see anyplace else. It's easy to join. Just visit patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. Here's what you'll find on my Patreon. A day in my life, whether that's dinner with friends or a typical workday. Live Q&As with members of my Patreon about each episode of the T.S. Madison Experience and what I was really thinking. I'll even bring you on vacation with me. The video will make you think that you were right there. And last but not least, for all of my aspiring writers, I give you firsthand, one-on-one, personalized attention, answering all of your questions about publishing and self-publishing. So what are you waiting for? Join now. Swipe up or visit www.patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. I'll see you soon.